Trouble keeping up with the Joneses? It's a coach. You're set for Madden football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, Aaron Jones, no picnic a week ago. He's looking for another big game. It'll be the Green Bay Packers taking on the Chicago Bears. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
The good news, Coach, is that the winds aren't as violent as they were yesterday in Chicago, but it's still pretty darn cold. To be expected, I guess, for December football at Soldier Field. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, you look at this Bears team entering play. The losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, they're hot as can be. Winners of 8 of their last 9 games.
I don't know if you'd call this start a surprise exactly, but they've proven that they're going to be able to stand toe-to-toe with anybody.
Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. Leading them out at QB is the former North Carolina Tar Heel, Mitchell Trubisky.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that one interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
They will run for the first time with David Montgomery. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup. That sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Trubisky, open receiver. That's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain there of 21 yards.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position, everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner. With good timing, you get a completion as we just saw there.
An opening there on that first down run as he gets his forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. They'll throw this out wide and complete it to Ridley. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Nice methodical opening drive here. They're already into field goal range. They're in a good spot. You know that people just like to take a shot in this part of the field. But at the same time, as methodical as they've been, they might want to run the ball a little bit here too.
And just on the outskirts of the red zone, they have options now. Either way, though, they've come out with a purpose. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Montgomery back to the ground. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to 3rd down. We'll take a look at the starters here defensively for the Packers. They really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
And what I saw on film was nearly an unstoppable pass rush. They had 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries. So now do you just max protect on offense, keep everyone in and run, one or two receiver routes to make sure your quarterback stays up? We'll soon find out.
They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on third down. From the shotgun is Trubisky. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Rashawn Gary in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. A week ago, they dominated in the trenches. They got in the backfield for 5 sacks, setting the tone there, one on the opening drive.
And it sets the tone for the opposing team, doesn't it? Remember when you were a kid and you went to the theater and saw that horror movie and it stuck with you for a while and you were a little bit jumpy? But if you saw 5 sacks the previous week and you're the quarterback, he might be a little jumpy as well. Might throw off his timing.
Yeah, it'd be jumpy, but sorry, Bob and Linda wouldn't let me see a PG movie until I was 17.
Well, that's just good parenting.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 15. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Quickly now, here's a look at the Green Bay offense.
It's tough to be an offensive lineman in Green Bay because their quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, knows how to keep plays alive and often extends them for 3, 4, 5, 6 seconds. But David Bakhtiari, his left tackle, he does it as well as anyone could ever expect. Excellent footwork. Knows that the plays are going to stay alive for a long time. Often will get 2 or 3 blocks on the same play.
That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
Well, look now at our starting defense. They interplay here 24th in the league against the run.
One thing players always tell us is that they never really pay attention to numbers. I don't believe them for a second. They know where they rank, okay? They're not quite at the top, but they're far from the bottom. But let's face it, they want to move up. In order to do that, they've got to look at each other and make sure everyone's taking care of their assignments in order to play the run better.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Rodgers. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
70th catch for him on the year, and like so many others, this goes for a 1st down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A first carry now for the BYU man. It's Jamal Williams. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
And a nice gain of 21 yards. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
Offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever.
And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Aaron Jones with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like... Boxer in the gym, preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Crosby connects on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays, and it ends with a Packers touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Desmond King making the tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in what you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week. You must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle. As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
It'll be a 41-yard punt. Give them 5 on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams. The numbers for Adams in last week's game. Well up over 100 yards, and one of those catches found his way into the end zone.
I do think he'll be hard-pressed to duplicate those numbers this week, though, because he's gotten their attention, so they will double him on every snap at a minimum. In some cases, they'll triple him.
First down, Rodgers. And that's complete to Adams. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
Well, with a dime look on defense, 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And that's caught by Smith. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 43. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 43. Throwing now is Rodgers. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Trent Murphy able to record. his 5th sack of the season. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Now Rodgers. And this one complete to Smith. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Here's Rodgers to throw. And Adams has it complete. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 20-yard line. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, and tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Second and 5 now. Rodgers, this time for Smith, and it's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
Hauschka adds the extra point, and we are tied at 7. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now come the Packers for their next drive as we take a look at the playoff race in the NFC coming into the weekend. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting for us because we get to talk about it, and, you know, at the end of the day, 6 teams are going to go from each conference, and guess what? We're going to have a playoff. But nerve-wracking for all the people involved, all the teams, because their goal is to get there. And anything less than that makes the season a disappointment. So they've got to be primed now for a big finish to their season.
Under 10, 10.
Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Adams hauling it in from Rodgers. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 17 yards on the play there as the Packers have the first down as well. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. It's a gain of 16 and a first down for the green and gold.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
They stick to the ground game on first down. It's Williams. He's got the first down inside the 10. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Here's Jones, and that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line.
And a nice job defensively to keep him out of the end zone. He's trying to get his second touchdown already in the first half.
They had that one earlier, was bidding for a second. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. From 3 yards out, and the Packers have taken the lead. Now Crosby for the point after. That's one of those long drives where not only do you score, but you really tire out the defense too.
That's a great point because now they've been on the field for a long time. Them going to the bench, trying to make adjustments, trying to figure things out, but they'll do so fatigued.
This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
No gain on the dump off. It's 2nd down. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch. And most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
A play fake to Montgomery. Now Trubisky. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 25 yards that time.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally down at the 32-yard line. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Now this one into the hands of the tight end, Hayden Hurst. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
From the gun on third down, it's Trubisky. The catch is made by Riley Ridley. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining.
We got this.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. The first down screen pass, good for 5.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3. Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Here's Trubisky to throw. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Rodgers going to throw. Going up top. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a play, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. Less than 30 seconds to go in the half. Pretty good starting field position, all things considered. You'd think they definitely have time to get into field goal range.
Yes, and you get into the huddle or you come off the bench here and you've called multiple plays because you're going to say, this is how we're going to run them in order. Guys, you don't have time for audibles. You don't have time to change anything. You're trying to get the ball in position to at least get 3. They've got a great shot to do it right here.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Pretty fortunate there. The interception that ended the last drive, and then boom, the first pass here almost picked on this drive.
Yeah, I think you could definitely call him to question his decision-making here in the first half.
Certainly not the best of decisions there. Lucky that one wasn't picked. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Trubisky now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. Trubisky leaves with Montgomery on the draw. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now Montgomery, he's got it on the draw. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Now a signal and a timeout call as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. And quite a bit of pizza in this box. It's a 53-yard attempt. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is.
NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over. And it's a big kick, but now we just, if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong because they have plenty of leg.
And now this throw incomplete, and that is how this first half will come to an end. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll begin up at U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. And in the second quarter, it's the Vikings who are out on top. Tavon Austin, a touchdown there. From there, let's hop over to New England. Check out the Patriots at home in Foxborough. And it's the visiting Jets who have the lead in that one. The Jets seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Finally, let's get down to Houston. Check on the Texans at home at NRG Stadium. And it's the visiting LA Chargers who have the lead in that one at halftime. Leonard Fournette, a touchdown run in that first half. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there. Second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Throwing on second down. Rodgers. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Packers. A big play there. With his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Extra point try now for Crosby. It's good, and it is now 21-7. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And the result, a Green Bay score. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Now it's Trubisky. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Here's Trubisky. It's complete to Robinson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards there, a first down. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Now Trubisky. He'll leave it for Montgomery complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. On second down, Montgomery. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Trubisky. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. Zadarius Smith. He's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Number 12 back out there. Aaron and his Packer teammates set to begin their drive. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Now Rodgers. He's got the hook up to Lazard. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. On second and very short, Rodgers throwing right, and that's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 17-yard line. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Rodgers will bring him up to the line, 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Jamal Williams with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Crosby with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it was all finished off by the 17-yard touchdown run. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They trail here by 24 points. Got to get going soon, you'd have to think, as they come up 1st and 10. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 26. Trubisky now off the bootleg. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Rashawn Gary, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
That one covers 29 yards, first down. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator is looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sheldon Richardson able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner, and I don't think with 3 scores down in the third quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Jamal Williams making his way back onto the field. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the third quarter. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Trent Murphy able to record his 5th sack of the season. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block it.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Back north. Hey, exit.
Back now at Soldier Field. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
Inside. Hey, Alpha.
Now on 2nd and 16. Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams. And they finally take him down, but not before he reaches the 43. A big play there. Rodgers to Adams. 43 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence, because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've got an answer for it. Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
258.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. 4 touchdown passes now for Aaron Rodgers. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Extra point up and good by Crosby. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it ends with a Packers touchdown. The Bears offense making their way out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
First down for the Bears, a gain of 15. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. From the gun, it's Trubisky. Caught by Montgomery. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sheldon Richardson in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Rashawn Gary make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. To throw, it's Rodgers. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. Touchdown, Packers. Jamal Williams, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there, and often you talk about the three phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Now Crosby for the point after. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball. Yeah,
recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them. Under 200 today.
Devontae Adams in the Packer offense heading back out. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well. Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. 23 yards, the final tally.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Mike's 56. Mike's 56.
They'll run on first down. It's Williams. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about to run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
Mike 58 right there. He's tired of you. He's tired of us.
They'll run it with Williams. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll be 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time.
Back.
Williams. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? They'll try to run it in. It's Williams. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Green Bay, the win pushes their record now to 11-2 on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Chicago, it's unfortunately more of the same as they'll fall to 3-10 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.